A few years ago, I noticed something strange. Two people I knew were trying to build extra income at the same time. One of them was clearly more talented, smarter, faster learner, always full of new ideas. The other person was honestly quite average, nothing extraordinary. But a year later, something surprising happened. The talented one had already quit. The average one was quietly making consistent extra income. And that observation forced me to ask a very uncomfortable question. What if talent isn't the thing that actually determines who succeeds? Because most people believe the opposite. They believe the people making money online are simply more gifted, better traders, better entrepreneurs, better with numbers. But when you start studying the pattern closely, you realize something interesting. Talent helps you start. Consistency is what determines whether you finish. And today, I want to show you exactly why that happens. Because once you see this pattern, you'll understand why many hardworking professionals struggle to build extra income, even though they are more capable. Let's start with a simple example. Think about learning a musical instrument. Imagine two people learning the guitar. Person number one is naturally talented. Within a few weeks, they can play complicated songs. They impress their friends. Everything looks easy. Now imagine another person learning the same instrument. They are slower. They make mistakes. Their progress is not exciting to watch. But they practice 20 minutes every day. Not when they feel motivated, every day. Now, fast forward 1 year. The talented player practiced occasionally. The average player practiced consistently. Who do you think becomes the better musician? Hmm? It's usually the second one. And this pattern shows up everywhere: sports, fitness, investing, businesses, even in movies. There's a reason stories like Rocky resonate with people. The entire message of Rocky was simple. He wasn't the most talented fighter, but he kept showing up round after round, and consistency eventually became his advantage. Extra income systems work the same way, but this is where most professionals accidentally sabotage themselves. Because when they decide to build extra income, they focus on finding the perfect opportunity, the perfect strategy, the perfect system. They watch more tutorials, more strategies, more explanations. It feels productive, but in reality, something else is happening. They are increasing complexity, and complexity destroys consistency. Think about the average professional's day: 8 to 10 hours of work, meetings, emails, deadlines, problem solving. By the time evening arrives, your brain is already tired, kaput. So, if your extra income strategy requires constant decision making, constant analysis, constant emotional reactions, it will eventually collapse. Not because you are incapable, but because the system requires too much mental energy. This is why talent alone rarely solves the problem. Because talent does not remove friction, it doesn't. Structure does. And this is exactly where the 3C trader method comes in. The 3C method was designed around a simple idea: make consistency easier than inconsistency. And it does that using three stabilizers: clarity, control, consistency. Let's start with the first one, clarity. Most professionals try too many strategies at once: day trading, crypto speculation, side businesses, content creation, passive income ideas. The result? Mental overload. Clarity means choosing one simple system and understanding it deeply, not 10 ideas, one. Because once the path is clear, execution becomes easier. The second stabilizer is control. This is where emotional decisions usually destroy progress. A strategy starts working, and suddenly someone increases risk. They are confident all of a sudden, changes the plan, tries something new, but control means predefined rules: when to act, when not to act, how much risk exists, how much time is allocated. When rules exist, emotion becomes less dangerous. And the third stabilizer is the most important: consistency. This is the part nobody finds exciting. Mm-mm. Consistency is repetitive, sometimes boring, but repetition is where compounding begins. Think about fitness again. One intense workout once a month changes nothing. 30 small workouts across a month change everything. Income systems behave exactly the same way. Small, structured actions repeated consistently produce results that random bursts of motivation never can. And this is where many professionals suddenly realize something powerful. They don't actually need more talent, they need a calmer system, because the real challenge of building extra income isn't intelligence, it's sustainability. Can the system survive busy weeks? Can it survive tired evenings? Can it survive when motivation disappears? If the answer is yes, then consistency becomes possible. And once consistency becomes possible, progress becomes predictable. Which brings us back to the observation I mentioned earlier: the talented person who quit and the average person who succeeded. The difference wasn't intelligence, it wasn't opportunity, it was structure. One person relied on motivation, the other relied on a repeatable system, and systems always outlast motivation. So if you've ever felt like building extra income is harder than it should be, it might not be a talent problem. It might simply be a strategy problem, because the professionals who quietly build consistent extra income usually follow the same formula: clarity, control, consistency, not chaos, not constant experimentation, structure. And when that structure is simple enough, even an ordinary person applying it consistently can outperform someone far more talented. That is the quiet advantage of consistency. It turns small actions into long term results, and over time, those small actions compound into something powerful.